So today we are going to talk about Ciclovia. It's kind of a tradition, I suppose. What would you call it?
Yes, it's a
Tradition
tradition.
here in Colombia, where they actually shut down large major highways so that people can walk or bike or run, jog, skateboard, whatever on the actual streets. You can see us here walking down this street, and you can see other people biking and doing all kinds of stuff up and down the street.
Yeah, so we left somewhat later, towards the end of the time. This goes from 7 o'clock in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, and we went out around 1 o'clock. So the streets are fairly empty, but usually there are many people on the streets, and there are street vendors, and there is a lot of activity.
Yeah, this happens in Bogota, Colombia, every Sunday from, like my wife said, 7 in the morning till 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And they've actually had a few Sundays where they did not have Ciclovia because of quarantines related to COVID. But for the most part, it does happen, and we've come to really enjoy it.
And they also do this during holidays. So people are able to stay outside and be active. And I noticed that the citizens of the city there, they really enjoy this, and they take advantage of this.
Now, you did some research, right, regarding, I think it started in Bogota for the most part.
Yes. So Ciclovia apparently was initially started in Bogota, and over time, more cities around the world have been adopting it. In Colombia proper, I believe they also do Ciclovia in Medellin and in Cali, and they have different patterns that they follow. Some places maybe only at night, that some streets are closed, other places only part of the day, but it's a really well kept tradition in this country.
Yeah, and it probably leads to decreased obesity rates, to be quite honest. What would you think?
I agree. The more you increase your level of activity, you decrease your chances that you will be overweight or obese. And as our family, we look forward to opportunities like this, because where we're from, in South Carolina, we did not have a lot of such opportunities. Granted, we have places where we can walk around, but most things that we need to use, stores or what have you, usually you need a car to drive to
Yeah.
different places, so you're not as encouraged to do that unless you go to the gym, which a lot of people do. But this is wonderful because you can also do this with your family. And there are walking tracks and places and parks where you can go, of course, but this is a community event, almost like that happens
Yes.
every Sunday.
Yeah,
And that really draws people.
It's very social. I think you can go with your friends, family. You can meet people along the way. And, I think just talking about sort of the culture here in Colombia, in Bogota, Colombia, if I were to contrast that with America, I think, Bogota is a very large city, over 7 million people, and large major highways and streets. And still, yeah, I think they do a really good job, even without the Ciclovia, of putting bike paths, specialized bike paths throughout the city, where you can easily travel from one side of the city to another using these specialized bike paths that are oftentimes right in the middle of the highway, where the large green patches of grass are. There's usually a bike lane that runs through that. And I think they have really constructed the city, or engineered the city with exercise and walking in mind. So I see a tremendous amount of bike activity, bicycling and walking, as compared to other major U.S. cities, let's say.
I agree.
So I don't know, what was your first experience with Ciclovia? How did you get to know it, and what did you first think about it when you saw it?
I believe it was the first night when we came to Bogota. The gentleman who picked us up from the airport mentioned that that this activity does happen during Sunday and during holidays. And we came to Bogota in December, so it was around Christmas time, holiday season. Schools were out, and they had a lot of activities for people to be outside, the chances to get to know the community. And so we ventured out the very first weekend. We went outside and we walked around town, and we saw how interesting that experience was. Now, it's beautiful to see when you go out during the weekdays and all the cars are out, everybody's busy doing everything. You can smell the air, and it is definitely a different experience when the cars are not in circulation.
Yes, yes.
The air is so much fresher.
Yes.
The low noise level, and it's so much more peaceful. So it's a great experience. I wish we had that in the States.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. Join us next time.